Hi and welcome everyone. I'm Mary Felling, physical therapist. Today we're working on the back of the neck, and this is a great area and a great technique for people who have headaches, migraines, stress, tension in the back of your neck, or you have tech neck. You're somebody who's looking at their computer all day. So let's get started. All right, so for today's treatment technique, you're going to want to get something like this. This is called a TheraCane. We've got the link to getting a TheraCane in the description below. So for now, you can use just your fingers. And the way you would use them is you're going to curl them over like this. So you're not going to use straight fingers. You're going to curl them over. It's easier on the joints in your fingers. And we're going to the back of the neck. Very important, we're not going over the spine. We don't want to do anything to bruise the vertebrae. So we're going to the back of the neck, and I'm going to turn so you can see what I'm doing. So here's the base of my skull here, and you can feel that because it's a bony ridge, and you go just underneath that. And then anywhere in the back of your neck, left or right side, that's where we're going. So as I said earlier, I'm going to use a TheraCane today. You can use your fingers. I'll show you both. If you're using a TheraCane, the easiest thing is just to take the curved end that has this little knob on it. You're holding it like this. So my shoulders, my elbows are close to my body and lower. I'm not out like that. That's a lot of work. And I'm just going to take that little piece and put it right below the skull, right below, and I'm pressing, I'm feeling for areas that are tight or tender. And once I find the tight or tender area, that's where I'm going to work. For those using your fingers, you're going to curl them, and they're going to walk across the back of your neck like a spider. So I'm going to go right to the base of my skull, find the base, and then I'm just going to very gently, I'm doing this. I'm pushing around with pretty much a lot of tension, and I found a spot that's very tender. You can look and work on a spot that's tender or a spot that's tight. All right, so let's start our timer. And if you've worked with me in these other videos, you'll know that we always use 5 minutes. So I'm on my spot, so I'm going to hold it there. And look at what I'm doing. I've got my elbows down next to my side. My arms are relaxed. My hands are pretty much in front of me. I'm not doing anything like this. I want to conserve energy in the rest of my body. And I'm just very gently pulling here to create the pressure back there. Five minutes is what is needed in the myofascial release approach, because we're using mechanical energy, and mechanical energy, when placed into the body, and in this case we're using compression, when you put mechanical energy into the body, after 5 minutes, this electrical flow starts. It's called the piezoelectric effect. It's a fancy word, just means the bioelectric flow. And as that bioelectric flow starts, it comes to the areas, it moves along the fascia, by the way. And when it gets to those areas where the fascia and the muscle are dehydrated and bound down and glued and sticky and creating those little knots, it helps that area to soften, rehydrate, and elongate. So a minimum of 5 minutes is in here in this space that I'm working at. And on one place, you can see I'm not moving my cane around to other places, all on one spot. And so I'm going to be back there for the 5 minutes. And at home, when you're finished with this treatment technique, you can add more time. We're not relegated to just 5 minutes. That's just how long it takes to start the electrical flow going. You want that electrical flow to start softening those tight spots, those tender spots that we call myofascial restrictions. And as you're working on yourself, I was saying earlier, 5 minutes is our minimum. You can absolutely be there 7 or 8 minutes, especially if you're feeling some releases. And a release feels like there's less pain there. It's softening up. You might feel a sense of general well-being. You might feel that the area you're working on is creating some finger-like projections going into another place in your body. So continue holding your position. I'm just going to let go so I can demonstrate. So sometimes when I'm working on the back of my neck, I can feel it coming up across over my ear. Sometimes I can feel it going up into my jaw. And that's a good sign. It means the fascia here has been so tight in our body, in my body, that's created a tension pattern through the rest of the fascia and has caused some tension up here and back down in here. So anytime I feel tension there, or if I'm feeling something in my TMJ, I know to work back here to help relieve the source. I feel it here, but here's the problem, has been back here in my neck. Why? Well, because we're a flexion society. We're hunched over all day. We're in front of a screen looking forward like that all day. We're over our kids, grandkids, taking care of things. A lot of people have jobs that require them to be seated or standing with their heads forward, like any kind of a technician, a laborer. But working in this area in general helps headaches. It helps if you're in the middle of a headache, work back here. It'll help relieve the tension if you have a tension headache. And it really helps mobility, neck mobility. So if you're somebody who has a stiff neck at the end of the day from whatever you're doing, and you feel that you can't really move your head side to side because it's stiff, or you get to an end point and you just feel like you're up against a rock, you can't go further. Working back in here really helps to allow movement to come back, and so your head can rotate left and right without feeling stressed or strained, or having to move the rest of your body so that you can look over your shoulder. And as I was saying earlier, so we're always doing a minimum of 5 minutes to get that piezoelectric effect going. Feel free to do it 7 or 8 minutes and keep getting more and more releases. All right, so we're coming to the end of the 5 minutes. And so very gently, I'm going to take the pressure away. And I would go ahead and self-treating, and I'd find another spot and I would do another treatment there. And then I'd go to the other side of my neck and I would do a treatment on that side too, using my cane or fingers. Thank you for joining me today. I'm so happy to know you're taking care of yourselves, and I'll see you in our next video.